a car's taillight suddenly broke loose and fell off, clattering onto the highway. Almost immediately, a desperate hand emerged from the gaping hole where the light had been, frantically waving back and forth as if crying out for help. A passerby in another vehicle noticed the bizarre sight and quickly pulled out his phone to call the police, reporting the car's location and the strange scene unfolding before him. He then sped up, trying to get closer to the suspicious vehicle. The female driver in a nearby car caught sight of the man behind the wheel of the damaged vehicle. When the male driver realized he was being watched, something shifted in his demeanor. He suddenly accelerated and switched lanes aggressively, speeding away from the highway and leaving the main road behind. As the car continued its high-speed escape, white paint began spilling out from the broken taillight opening, creating a telltale trail across the asphalt that marked the vehicle's path like breadcrumbs. At the next traffic light, the car was forced to stop. A businessman in a suit in the adjacent lane noticed the white paint splattered on the ground and rolled down his window to helpfully alert the driver to the problem. Only then did the man catch sight of the damage in his rearview mirror, and his expression immediately transformed into one of panic and terror. The moment the light turned green, he floored the gas pedal and shot forward, nearly colliding with the cars around him in his desperate haste to escape. The man drove to an isolated area and pulled over, then hurried to the back of his vehicle. When he saw the broken taillight and the paint evidence, his worst fears were confirmed. Inside the trunk, a young woman was trembling with absolute terror. He yanked open the trunk and grabbed a screwdriver, pressing it threateningly against her. Realizing he needed to subdue her again, the man rushed back into the car to retrieve some drugs he had stashed away. Just then, the businessman in the suit appeared. Something about the earlier encounter had struck him as suspicious, so he had decided to follow the car. The kidnapper quickly stuffed the drugs into his pocket and held the screwdriver against the girl's face, silently warning her not to make a sound. He managed to deflect the businessman's concerns with a few casual remarks, sending him on his way. But as the suited man walked back to his own car, he could see through the kidnapper's nervous facade. He immediately pulled out his phone and began dialing 911. Without warning, the kidnapper grabbed a shovel and smashed it through the businessman's car window, snatching the phone and hurling it to the ground where it shattered into pieces. He then struck the Good Samaritan, knocking him unconscious. However, during the violent struggle, the vial of drugs in the kidnapper's pocket was crushed and broken. Meanwhile, police had already begun tracking the businessman's phone signal and were closing in on the location. But by the time the officers arrived at the scene, they found nothing but an empty car.